Good morning. It is Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. Thank you again for stopping by today. And don't really have anything to talk about this morning except it's foggy and I'm on my way to get pricing for a tenant improvement project. There is a building in Northridge is getting converted for a commercial space at a commercial complex. They got AutoZone, Pan Express, and some other places, and they're building a physical therapy medical office. And my company, we've been asked to provide a bid. We went and met the principals at the job, did some measurements, took photos, and then since Thursday we were trying our best to get this bid completed, but there was just so many details that just wasn't going to happen. And to be honest with you, I don't think we're going to even have it ready today, but hey, I'm giving it the good old college try because I got up early to try to make things happen. And this is the difference between somebody who is looking for a hero versus somebody who realizes that the power to save is within yourself. I think that's almost a biblical principle because I know Jesus, when he said he's going to leave so that the comforter could come, and he's not going to just be with you. He said he's going to be in you, and he's going to give you knowledge of all things. And all things doesn't mean you're going to be like God. He's going to give you knowledge to where everything that you were purposed to be as a human being, you will be equipped to deal with it. And if you're not totally equipped to deal with it by yourself, you're going to be equipped to deal with it because you know that you're connected to something greater than yourself, which is God. And if you don't believe that you're connected to God, what's this notion of family? Where did this come from? How is it that human beings seem to value that almost more than money? That they value it more than let's say dogs. You know, because dogs can run around and have sex indiscriminately and just produce crazy litters of kids, baby dogs, and they just leave them to their own devices. But believe it or not, I've seen female dogs have more love for their cubs than a lot of these women nowadays, these modern women. Woo, they are something special. I would say that society has almost obliterated their supposed natural instincts to protect and nurture. I mean, think about it, folks. If we got all these women that are supposedly trying to nurture, you know, why do the majority of the women that you run across on campus not want to have kids? Why do they want to have Birkin bags? Why do they want to have weaves? Why do they want to have titty lifts and butt lifts and all this more than they want to start a family? Oh, well, it's because the quality of the men have just gone into the toilet. That may very well be true, but I think it's a lot easier for a woman to find a good man than the reverse. And the reason why is because men, we have to create our value. And I'd say the majority of men on this planet have value because we see every day. I know I see it when I'm on job sites doing estimations and talking about doing these tenant improvements. I rarely encounter a woman at any of these things. And if she's there more as an adjunct, as an assistant. She's not doing any real heavy lifting in the conversation or in the work. And I know you guys see it on job sites too. Like my current girlfriend, she has a daughter, 22 years old. when she first arrived into Vegas, trying to get herself together. I mean, we did a lot of stuff for this young woman, along with her 2 daughters. She got a job working at a construction company, and she was just a flag woman. She was the lady with the stop sign and the hard hat, looking cute and sexy in her yellow and orange vest and her steel-toe work shoes. I mean, ladies, you guys definitely do a lot of good to the job site, especially if you're in good shape. If you are one of these dumpy, fat broads and stuff, and you're under 25, yeah, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Your value is not in your ability to like really work. Your value is in being almost like an object. Because you are an object. You're an object of a desire. You're an object of attention. And as much as you guys militate against trying to be not this object of desire and attention, you run to it eventually. It was the same thing like that I saw with my niece. You know, I'm gonna be successful, y'all, because I'm still here. And I'm like, okay, and are you showing me your law degree and the tassel and the hat that you wore at graduation? Are you showing me this wonderful desk at this wonderful career that you're doing? No, you're taking the very thing that God gave you, your beauty, your appearance, your existence, as being, this is the tool for my success. And I'm like, okay, you're starting to see it my way, as much as you really hate to admit that that's what you're saying when you made this video where you're literally like gazing into the camera lens as if you're looking at the mirror and you see your beauty. And you know, with these camera phones, yeah, you can actually see yourself looking at yourself in the display of the camera. And that's what she was seeing. She's like, oh my God, I'm just so beautiful, I'm so sexy. And you are. You got a lot of men validating how great a job God put you together. So, started out not really having a whole lot to say, but I'm really having a whole lot to say about women. And I would just say that for you to go to university, get a degree, I think that's a good challenge to your mind and being able to have focus and discipline. But the trade-off is there's so much temptation and there's so much culture that's contrary to discipline on campus. And this is not anything new, ladies. Don't think that my generation was this Quaker, Amish, conservative kind of thing. I remember as a freshman going to the University Student Union and the Black Student Association, the BSA. They had a party, just a party to allow the students to let off a little steam on the weekend. And it was on a Saturday night right after a football game. And students from other universities came, and just, you know, older men were coming to the campus. And they were dancing, I was dancing, having a grand old time. But in the Student Union, 1983, I'd say it was in October, November, right before Thanksgiving break, they had this party. And I kid you not, people, do not think that our generation was this, oh, we were just so God-fearing and good. No, there were 2 black women, not white women, black women, because this was a black sponsored party. It was a black sponsored party. I remember going to this party and seeing, when the slow music was playing, black men and black women tongue kissing and just being totally enthralled with each other. But there was a time where when the music got, I mean, really funky, I mean, everybody's dancing and, oh, that's my jam, you know, songs came out, and then all of a sudden I'm looking on the floor of the Associated Student Union Union of UCLA. On the floor, there were 2 women and 2 black young men. The men had their pants down to where their asses were covered, but barely, with their underwear. And the girls had their panties down, their panties down to their ankles, and they're literally having sexual intercourse on the floor. And people were like circled around these people, but it was almost like they were in circle, but nobody was really like watching, but they were watching. It was just a phenomenal sight to see. So I already know the real motivation behind going to university for women is to get buck wild, live your best life, and to get this bull crap degree. Because, like I said, both my niece, and I don't know if she really partook in the sexual activity when she went. I think she's like 26, 27 years old now. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that she was tempted and she might have done something, but I doubt it. I got a lot more confidence that she maintained her chastity at university. But the one thing that she couldn't do was see it through in terms of getting the degree that was going to give her the most value, because she wanted to be a research biologist. She wanted to be a medical doctor to where she could do biological research. But ultimately she ended up getting a degree in psychology, because that road to becoming a medical doctor was going to be a tough road of extreme focus and extreme discipline. And so that's what you guys need to see and appreciate about men that become doctors, women that become doctors, the amount of sheer mental discipline that it takes to make those things happen. It is amazing to be able to have that much discipline to do. And I had it, I just didn't have confidence when I was that age. And a lot of my confidence was shaken because the women that I happened to come across where I started having sex with these women, they shook my confidence, because it wasn't such a situation where they wanted to stay. And it wasn't that I wasn't good at it, because I think I was pretty good at it, because at one point, my girlfriend, the first girl I had sex with, she was under the impression that, I was out here having sex with a whole bunch of different women. And I wasn't. I was hidden off at the university research library in the book stack studying, and I'm just feeling good about life, because I'm like, oh man, I gotta get this studying in, because pretty soon the weekend's gonna come and I'm gonna blow my girl's back out Friday night. We're gonna go to a movie, we'll have a nice dinner down in Westwood, because I went to UCLA back when I was a young student. And then we go to the movies and we go back to the dorm, and I'd blow her back out. We get up and not even think about studying, and we either go to the beach or we'd go back home to visit mom, which is her mother. We'd go to visit. She had a father figure in her life who ran this elderly center where the elderly would come during the day to kind of hang out, and they'd play bingo during the day and during the evening. And at one time he actually loaned us his Mercedes to where we could roll to the beach. We'd roll to the beach, we'd roll to the restaurant, and then we'd roll back, and then we'd get back in my little raggedy Triumph TR7, and we would stay together. And so she came to my dorm room one evening crying because she heard rumors that I was banging all these white girls, and that's the reason why I wasn't to be found in the circle of black people in the campus. No, I was tucked away studying my ass off, trying to get to where I was going to be a medical doctor. And crying, you know, I know you out here screwing these girls, yeah. And I'm like, no, baby. So I took her to one of the lounges on the floor of the dorm that I was at, and a lot of those lounges were occupied by other students studying, but I found one where it was just me and her, and I made this revelation. I told her, look, I was a virgin. You popped my chair. I didn't tell her literally that she popped my chair, but I told her, long story short, that she's the only woman I've ever had sex with in my entire life. And that I wanted her, and I only wanted her, and we could be together because I want to be a doctor. I want to make you proud, and I want to be able to take care of you and provide for you because I'm in love with you. That's what I told her. That very day was the last day that she and I were boyfriend and girlfriend. I would go to her dorm room. She would be in there. She'd look through the peephole, or somebody would look through the peephole. I could see the movement on the glass. And she would just ignore my knocking on the door. I'd just go away. I called her because everybody, this is long before cell phones. It was just the beginning of the advent of maybe even pages. I don't even think pages were even in vogue at that time. But I would call her from my dorm to her dorm, and her answer machine, she had the little electrical answer machine, you know, so-and-so's not here, leave your message at the tone, beep, you know. We had those mechanical answer machines that plugged into the line of the phone, and it would pick up the phone if you didn't answer after so many rings. And she literally just started ghosting me. If I saw her on campus, she literally would not even acknowledge and say hi or wave. She would look and look down and just keep walking. And I'm like looking at her, and I'm just like, you know, shedding tears because I had really gotten a connection with her because I've never had sex with any other woman. Come on, you guys. And this is what actually happens to most of the young men like me. We've been working through high school trying to get our mind and life in order, and the women, their lives have been set to be in order by virtue of them being objects of desire, being naturally made beautiful. So when women and men talk about who cheats the most, I don't think the issue is who cheats the most. I would say who is going to be naturally more prone to cheat in life. Is it men or women? I would say women. And the reason why, because it's easy. All you got to do is open your legs. That's it. You don't have to do a whole lot of thinking. All you got to do is get horny. And you don't have to be horny. You could just be mad at your boyfriend because he didn't kiss you goodnight. And you see your girlfriend's boyfriend kissing her goodnight every night. And now you want to go ahead, well, you know, I'm going to go ahead and fuck my girlfriend's boyfriend because, you know, he's the kind of man I really want. Oh, okay. Now you just compounded the problem. And those things happen. In fact, that's exactly what happened to the girl, my first girlfriend. She ends up hooking up with this football player on campus, and after that, he ends up hooking up with her high school best friend. They were roommates at the time, and you know, he was a very charismatic black football player. So anyway, I think I've done my rant enough for today. I'm here at the supply house to get these parts lists that I've created, get a financial quote. And once I get that, I'll be going to my partner's house to drop off these numbers. In fact, no, you know what? I think I'm gonna get them emailed to him. Because I just remember too, I got a buddy, he's got a water heater that went out on him and he wanted me to replace it. So I gotta roll out to Diamond Bar this morning real quick. Hopefully I get that done by 9. And then the real job that I had planned to do is I got a panel upgrade. Client of mine in Rosemead, California, he's got a 200 amp solar ready panel that he needs to get changed out. And that job should take me the rest of the day to get done. And that job is worth straight $3,500 bucks. That's how much I'm walking away with given this panel upgrade, which is a great deal. It's a 200 amp service, and that's the kind of money the knowledge and skill that I have affords me. And I'm not looking for anybody to save me, because the spirit within me has given me everything I need. All I have to do is be willing to receive and be willing to do the work. I mean, for people to call themselves Christian or even God-fearing, believing in a higher power, if you really believe in a higher power, then you gotta understand where your body came from. That whatever higher power gave you this body to use, he gave it to you to use to survive. Because think about it like this, you guys, and I'll let you go with this. Back in the day, before we became civilized, we were out in the forest, out in the desert, in the jungles, wherever. We had to go and hunt to live. We had to get it, and we had to get it on a day-to-day basis. And if we didn't get it, eventually we became weak and vulnerable to predation. Predators are gonna come and eat us. It's either you keep it out of the mud, or the lions, the tigers, the jackals, the dogs, they're gonna finish you off. So too, modern society has not changed. We live more in a concrete jungle, and the way you keep it out of the mud, you get your butt up and you work. You create value in yourself, and then you create value out here in this world. And ladies, you guys have been given the easiest thing to do in your life. Your value is intrinsic, and all you've got to do is preserve it. And for the women, those two women that were out there on the dance floor screwing up and having sex, their value was totally lost that day. In fact, maybe it was lost long before that day, because for them to be that filthy, to be that callous, to just be willing to publicly show themselves to be sexually active, I'll be honest with you, I got horny watching it. I was a little jealous and envious, but I don't know if I would have been wanting to have these women as my girlfriend, because I'm just like, how good can she be if she's out here just having sex with everybody? But anyway, we got to get it out the mud every day, y'all. And whether we be in the context of 1,000 years ago, when we had to hunt and gather for the most part, we gotta keep ourselves safe. And nobody's coming to save us. Everybody there in New York, they got a new mayor, and he's like, I'm a socialist, and I'm like laughing, because I'm sitting there saying, the socialists, they're gonna lie to you and promise you all these things, and they're gonna take the fruit of all your labor and hoard it for themselves. That's what they're gonna do, because their philosophy is all busted and broken. I think I'm gonna do a video on that later on today, because the drive that I have to make out to Rosemead as well as Diamond Bar is pretty long. So I think I'm gonna do that for you guys today. We're gonna deal with this Communist Manifesto. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.